Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing good wherever you are. Happy Father's Day, wherever you are. This is Mr. Kenya Revolutionary. Today, I want to explore an alternative to what we have in Ruto's government. I see a lot of people complaining about Ruto's government, saying that, the prices of commodities are going up, and this proposed 3.6 or 3.7 trillion finance bill that is trying to propose, that is trying to pass through the parliament, is going to be a tax burden to the 3% out of the 18 million employed Kenyans out there. So, of course, with the VAT, if the VAT is to be raised, the fuel VAT is to be raised to 16%, the price of everything which shall go up. Now, we haven't seen the price of food go down, and I know Mr. President has subsidized farming in order to increase production so we can have more food and in fact bring down the prices, but that's yet to be seen. I'll be more than willing to be patient. But in my previous video, I provided reasons why I think President Ruto will not succeed. I gave an example of how IMF and World Bank deal with people. And actually, I also highlighted that given the news yesterday, that this government is going to borrow 718 billion more, which is contrary to their promise. The very reason why he was giving the reasons why he's raising taxes is because he didn't want to borrow. But now he's raising taxes and he's still borrowing. So that's just a sign. I was telling, if you are one of those UDA or President Ruto faithful who think that he will get us out of this financial turmoil, I think you should think again and you should think hard. I'm not saying he can't do it, but there's some reasons that I think are beyond him. I don't think, basically he's been ruled by foreign interests and he cannot go against that. And if he dare goes against them, they'll probably take him out, whether it's through assassination or through coup d'etat, okay? Now, so what alternatives do we have as Kenyans? Because if you look at the Azimio side, we have this Mr. Raila Odinga and his cows, as he put it, and I'm not trying to offend them, but that's how they refer themselves as. They refer themselves as cows. But I'll be more civil than that. Raila is not the answer, as we have seen. The man has vied for presidency 5 times, and for 5 times he told us that he was denied victory through illegal means, through rigging or whatever the case is. We can start the days of Moi 97 when he was NDP and, came to NASA, Pentagon, all that, ODM. It's just, the story, right? So a lot of Kenyans, I think it shows in this last general election when he lost and he claimed that he won, he was rigged out, he tried to have a mandamano, and we saw the results. Nobody really came out. It was apart from his supporters, diehard supporters in Kibera, and a few places in Nairobi, and of course Kisumu, but it wasn't nationwide like it was in 2007. So basically, the consensus is that people are tired of this whole thing that after every election, Mr. Raila comes out and says he's been rigged out. Then he goes to the streets, people fight, people die, people get maimed, people get jailed. Then he kind of goes in and has a handshake, then forgets about everything. Everything is clear now. They call each other brother and everything is well and dandy. And I think Kenyans are tired of that. We've seen through that and we're tired of it. So what other alternative do we have? I had a discussion with a couple of people and they were saying it's so hard because, on the Azimio side, it's kind of like a cult, You can't speak against him. You can't be the lone voice. You can't say anything that contravenes the Azimio talking points, okay? You have to evoke Raila's name in order to be considered somebody, Baba this, Baba that, Baba ho. And my question is this: can't we have somebody who can actually stand up, challenge Ruto? Because anyone from the Azimio who's trying to challenge Ruto on his finance bill, as much as they might have a good points, valid points against the finance bill or anything that they feel Ruto is doing wrong, they're simply being viewed as part of the Azimio. And being part of Azimio, you're just being associated with Mandamano and chaos. People don't see the Azimio as a real alternative. I know they mentioned that they will be coming up with their own, finance bill or whatever the case is, but we are yet to see that. And they're also saying that they'll be going to Mandamano pretty soon, probably this week or next week, I don't know when. And most Kenyans are not in the mood for a Mandamano, even though there are some groups that are still going out there because they're protesting. Like yesterday, I saw people are protesting this whole idea of privatizing the water supply thing, okay? And also there were people who are protesting against the finance bill that Ruto is trying to, push through. So there are various groups, whether they're civil or whatever the case are, they're out there, protesting against the government. But the question is, so is this an opportunity for somebody to rise? Not just somebody per se, but just a group of individuals, okay? Divorced from Azimio or Kenya Kwanza, okay? An independent group, a political force that can come up, a legit group, political force that can bring out these issues and kind of be the hope. Because looking at Kenya Kwanza and Azimio, as I've said, these people, this current crop of politicians are the same people who have been in offices since the early 90s, late 80s. I mean, Raila Odinga, Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi, Kenyatta, Martha Karua. It's the same, Kalonzo Musyoka. These are the same crop of politicians that we've seen time after time again. To me, it feels like this is it's by design. Okay, these are the gatekeepers, with the exception of the newcomers, the Babu Owinos and the Rigathi Gachaguas, okay? But I feel like this is a club that's put in place. The opposition are controlled opposition. Yes, they claim to be opposition, but they only oppose if they don't get any political appointment, okay? But they're not really genuinely for the people. I feel like this is the same, it's two different sides of the same coin, okay? Martha Karua today is talking about all corruption and what the government is doing wrong, while when she was in Kibaki's government, she was presiding over a corrupt, illegitimate government, okay? So you see this time after time. I mean, Raila Odinga, when he went and shook hands with Uhuru, an illegitimate president, okay, for his second term, even the first term, okay? But anyway, he never mentioned anything about the police brutality or any the corruption that was taking place, okay? But now here he is now, he doesn't have an appointment, he's lamenting about the government doing X, Y, and Z, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Why can't we have someone or some group that stands up that's a real alternative, a real political alternative to what we have between, the Azimio faction and the Kenya Kwanza faction? Because I'm quite frankly, I'm tired of both of them. I think they're all fakers. They're the same coins with two sides. Two sides of the same coin, okay? They just pretend to be opposing each other, but really they don't. They really don't want to see change. They take advantage of the taxpayers' money and they enrich themselves when they get to parliament or senator or any governmental appointment. They just care about themselves. For example, just notice, if there's any motion to they raise their own taxes, by the way. I mean, sorry, not taxes, but their payments, their salaries. If there was a bill or motion to raise their salaries, everybody will vote for that kind of bill. But if you want to bring some changes, let's say bring a law, okay, propose a law that says that anyone that's found to be corrupt or and there's laws on the books about this, that's found should step down and should be prosecuted, can even be put to death. Can we have a law like that? But no, these are the kind of the bills that will never pass in parliament or senate because it's kind of hits close to home. They don't want that. So I'm just saying, with the political atmosphere right now, it's ripe for a change. It's like it's waiting for somebody to stand up and be the alternative. Raila cannot be the only one person who we know is compromised. It's a business for him to be an opposition. He gets money. He gets more money. I think he makes more money being in opposition than if he was be a president, okay? I'm just asking Kenyans. Because, I hear people make this argument that you cannot run if you don't have money. I give the example of Wajakoya, okay? Wajakoya, as nutty as it sounded, this guy was making inroads with the people, okay? So I'm saying, if you come out there with fresh ideas, if you want to finish corruption, you are, incorruptible, you have integrity, you're clean, you have a history, and you are for the people. You don't have to have money. You can go out there and uza sera zako, and people will buy that. We long for that. We long for a group, a real political force. Not this current crop of politicians, whether the government, Kenya Kwanza or Azimio. These are the same people. It's a community. It's a club. Okay? They pretend to be pro and against each other, but really they're not. These people sit together, drink together, and they just make fun of us wananchi. So I think it's time, the conditions are just right for a new political force that can revolutionize Kenya. The question is, who is courageous enough to stand up and step up to the plate and do this? Tell me what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, comment, and like. Let me know what you think. All right? I'll talk to you guys later, and happy Father's Day. Peace.